I've always been an admirer of Jake Paul. You know, I have to admire his. I have to admire his accomplishments. You know, growing up on Nickelodeon as an actor, a child star, and having a dream, a vision.
While watching it, I felt disgusted at Jake Paul for putting this together, knowing that Tyson was 58 years old. See, I'm a fighter myself, and I once tried coming back at 48 years old, and my body just shut down.
Jake Paul just defeated Mike Tyson in a much-anticipated boxing bout. However, Oscar de la Hoya just made a shocking revelation. What he said has just sent shockwaves across the world of boxing.
In terms of commercial establishments that paid to show the fight, so Jake Paul, Mike Tyson, new record holders. And with that, we'll open it up for questions.
Hey, Jake. Andreas from ESPN. Can you talk about the opening minutes when you see Mike across the ring from you? He's giving his peekaboo style. He's coming forward. What were your initial thoughts? Because it seems surreal that you got in the ring with Mike Tyson.
Yeah, I was just so prepared. I've gone through the moment so many times in my head and meditation and stuff like that. So it didn't faze me, and I just felt at home just because I'm on the path of riding my destiny. And when you're really close to God and on the path of your destiny, you just feel everything so much more, and you just know what's going to happen ahead of time.
You have to stay till the end for this one, as it's completely unexpected. Since the talk about Mike Tyson returning to the ring after nearly 2 decades, fans have been buzzing. Because Iron Mike remains one of the most famous faces in the sport. He is what Michael Jordan is to the NBA.
First of all, thank you to Netflix, an unbelievable partnership that started in November of 2023. We had a vision on what could be the biggest fight in history, and on Tuesday, with our partners at Netflix, we'll come out with the results of what tonight looked like. We had a gate of over $18.1 million, a record for the state of Texas, double what Canelo did when he fought here the last time post-pandemic, when demand for tickets was much higher, and it is the highest gate in boxing history in the US outside of Las Vegas. And it happened with a young man who's 4 years in the sport, and a legend, an icon in Mike Tyson, who came back and, put on an amazing show. We actually exceeded Floyd Mayweather and Conor McGregor in terms of commercial establishments that paid to show the fight. So Jake Paul.
And fans were desperate to see the baddest man on the planet in the ring once again. The fight failed to live up to expectations. Tyson proved that his glory days in the ring are well behind him. He came out swinging in the early rounds, trying to recapture his old magic, but faded as the fight wore on.
You had Zurdo Ramirez winning the 168-pound world title many years ago, becoming the first Mexican champion at 168, now fighting cruiserweight. It's incredible, it's amazing. Willem Smith is a true gentleman and an amazing champion.
You want him to fight Alexander Usyk now?
I kept on hearing through the grapevine that Alexander Usyk wants to come down to cruiserweight. Hopefully, everything turns out great when he fights Tyson. Who knows what happens there, because Tyson is a very, very dangerous live dog in this fight. But if Usyk decides and wins and decides to come back down to cruiserweight, then the Zurdo fight is right there for him.
Kevin Farmer's team believed that they won a very close fight. How did you score that, Oscar?
I had it 1 point up for William. He had the relentless style. He kept throwing punches.
Ultimately losing via unanimous decision for many fans, the real victory was that the bout ended without any serious injuries for the legendary former world champion, though his promised knockout never materialized. In addition, the melting mess that was the main event, Netflix fumbled its debut in live sports streaming, with buffering issues plaguing viewers worldwide.
So what did you think of the fight?
It wasn't a good one.
Wasn't a good one. Yeah. Overall, how'd you just see how Jake fought, how Mike fought?
Well, you know, you can tell something was wrong with the Tyson leg.
Yeah, the knee.
So he couldn't, his balance was off.
Oh, that's crazy. You noticed that. I just talked to his trainer and he told me that exact thing.
Yeah.
His balance was off.
His balance was off.
Yeah.
Yep.
Wow. You know, overall, like, how do you see Jake growing from this, and who do you want to see him fight against now?
Well, you know, I'm like, he's a pretty good
It
fighter.
got so bad that Netflix crash trended on X during and long after the fight ended. Overall, after months of intense marketing and hype, the fight seems to have ended in disappointment, much like many of Jake Paul's previous bouts. However, Oscar De La Hoya believes that the disappointment of fans may be intentional. Talking to the press at an event in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia.
Point up for William. He had the relentless style. He kept throwing punches. I mean, he lands punches like no other fighter. Tevin Farmer is a great fighter. He told me after the fight, look, I want to come back and fight for you. Absolutely. Tevin Farmer will be champion one day.
Oscar, let me ask you your opinion about last night. Did you stay up to watch Mike Tyson and Jake Paul?
I actually did. I actually watched it, and I felt, while watching it, I felt disgusted. Disgusted at Jake Paul for putting this together, knowing that Tyson was 58 years old. See, I'm a fighter myself, and I once tried coming back at 48 years old, and my
Oscar De La Hoya didn't mince words about his disappointment in the Paul versus Tyson fight. I actually did. I actually watched it, and while watching it, I felt disgusted. Oscar said, when asked about whether he watched the Paul versus Tyson fight, that he criticized Jake Paul for fighting an old man when he should be going up against those closer to his age. He also suggested an opponent.
One thing I'll say is I think Nikisa and Jake and MVP did an amazing job on the promotion. Netflix, everybody. What I saw, I hated to see it. And I knew I'd hate to see it. But congratulations to them, and on we go.
Thank you, Radio Raheem with Eddie Hearn.
For Jake Paul, and no surprise, his choice is Gilberto Zero Ramirez, who defeated Bam Smith via unanimous decision to clinch the WBO cruiserweight title. But that is not all. The Golden Boy said not at all. Oscar went ahead to point out that the fight was rigged. Yeah, you heard right. According to him, there were fighting sequences that support his point of view.
How are you? How you doing, champ?
Hey, good, man.
What did you guys think?
Well, it was a good fight, great event, and I'm glad that nobody got knocked out.
Any message for Mike? I know you visited him before the fight. What did you think? What did you think?
Interestingly, De La Hoya is not the only one who thinks the fight was rigged and didn't respect the spirit of competitive boxing. Several professional boxers share his point of view, for instance. Former boxer Carl Froch has called the bout scripted and fake. For those that don't know, FR had criticized the 58-year-old Tyson for potentially following a script.
At any point, did you start to take your foot off the gas just a little bit because you noticed he was tiring out?
Yeah, definitely. Definitely a bit. I wanted to give the fans a show, but I didn't want to hurt someone that didn't need to be hurt.
Did you carry Mike?
Yeah, I mean, a little bit. Yeah, there was a point where, I was just like, okay, he's not really engaging back. And so I don't know if he's tired or whatever. And I could just tell, his age was showing a little bit. And I just have so much respect for him. And that violence war thing between us, after he slapped me, I wanted to, be aggressive and take him down and knock him out and all that stuff. But that kind of went away as the rounds went on.
In the most recent press conference to hype his and Paul's upcoming fight. Now, he has repeated his statement after watching the fight last night. In a brand new video uploaded to his YouTube channel, Fighting Fur. On Fighting Fur, for example, Hayes has added himself to the seemingly never-ending list of former or active boxers who didn't enjoy the Jake Paul versus Mike Tyson fight. The 47-year-old Fur is a second-generation triathlete in the UK of Furs, and has even challenged him multiple times on social media, but none of his call-outs to the 27-year-old have...
Mike's power at all?
No.
He hit you with one, you gave him the tongue.
Only because the crowd, got turned up, but it didn't actually hurt. But, I mean, no one's punches have, really hurt. I got buzzed a little bit against Tommy Fury, but that's about it. It didn't hurt, no. I was just off balance when Woodley hit me, but because I was throwing a check hook and I missed, and then my chin was open, and then he hit me and I went boom, but it didn't hurt.
Proven to be effective enough to land him a big money fight, Carl Fr, despite not being a fan of the fight between Jake Paul and Mike Tyson, hoped to see the former get flattened during the fight, and was obviously disappointed with the outcome once again. Speaking in a video uploaded to his YouTube channel, FRHRRR, Frazier revealed he is very much rooting for Tyson to get a big KO win over the problem child before the fight, but has also admitted he wasn't surprised since the fight was rigged.
Grandson of Muhammad Ali, Nico Ali Walsh. He has a similar record to Paul, 11 wins, 5 knockouts, only 1 loss, and he has been offered to go against Jake Paul himself. So let's actually ask you about that. Nico, would you fight Jake Paul?
I turned down his offer just because we're not fighting for the same things, really. I just have so much respect for, the Ali name and the legacy that I'm trying to build. And I don't think that we're in the same sport either. We're just not in the same league.
When you say that, do you mean where Jake is more of an exhibition fighter and he's doing this as he's done his whole young career, for likes and views?
Yeah, no. So like I've said before, he's fighting for, headlines, and I'm fighting for my bloodline, and there's a big difference there. It's just I'm fighting for actual legacy, and he's fighting for, the viewership and the money, and that's just not something that I'm keen to. And it's just that's not what he's doing. Is not boxing. That fight last night left like a bad taste in a lot of people's mouths, especially boxing fans.
Is that why you didn't hear those jubilant cheers at the end of it? Because they knew these guys were probably pulling punches and, making it all for TV?
Yeah, no, it was so strange because after the fight, of course, I don't really pay attention to the circus type fights, but anytime Mike Tyson is involved, and I'm sure, everyone is the same way, they're watching Mike Tyson. If Mike Tyson was, playing tennis, I'm sure everyone would have tuned in to watch that as well. I would have at least. So, but after the fight, there was no cheers. There was not even really boos. It was just silence. I just think people were just dissatisfied with the whole thing. I think they realized that they felt scammed a little. They felt robbed a little bit, I think.
Who claimed, "I will tie one arm behind my back and finish you for good." In a social media post aimed at Paul, the 48-year-old also predicted that he would demolish the YouTuber turned boxer if they were to fight. Apparently, his statement irritated Jake Paul, so he did not hold back. In a brutal response on X posting "Sour Loser," he went ahead to say that it was the last time he will respond to the former boxer before firing his parting shot, telling FR to inform if he wants to wash his cars. Like we said earlier, FR joined a long list of professional boxers that agree with Oscar de la Hoya. Some of them are even pointing fingers at Jake Paul, Netflix, and Mike Tyson himself for the disrespect.
People just love to hate me. I'm easy to hate, and I intentionally say things to make people hate me. I play the heel. I feed into that. And, that's just what I like to do. And that's what entertainment is. And at the end of the day, I started as a 17-year-old in Los Angeles in the entertainment business. But I've been in this sport for 4.5 years and have been so active, doing every event, taking any fight possible. So if people want to see more or this challenge or fight this person, whatever it is, my response to them is just give them a couple more months, because I'm going to accomplish more things in just a matter of months. And I plan on doing everything in this sport that there is to be done.
Have shown a sport they love more. Shockingly, there are rumors that the alleged script of the fight has been leaked online. Reacting to this, former world champion Andrea Ward said he wasn't surprised about the outcome of the fight. Also, Eddie Hearn, who is a popular BO boxing promoter, and
enormous for an event like this, and you'd expect that. I often say when the level of production is that high, it's normally to disguise the level of boxing. So I think that went hand in hand.
Well, let's talk about what we actually saw in the ring. Just your, initial response to the 8 rounds that Jake and Mike shared.
Yeah, I mean, it was exactly, you could have written the script before, not implying anything there, but, Tyson's come out. First round, actually, a bit of a watch the first round, but you straight away saw the legs, weren't there anymore. I thought Roy Jones Jr. on comms was fantastic. He spotted that well. He wasn't, sometimes commentators, they go and try and hide certain things to make it more exciting for the viewer. He was brutal from the second round on. He said he's not moving his legs anymore. And that was it, really, wasn't it? It was a statutory Tyson. Any boxer who's statutory in a ring and doesn't move is otherwise known as a punch bag. And that's the way it went. And I said before, the first couple of rounds might be a bit interesting. I think the first round was.
Chief executive of Matchroom commented on the fight to Hearn, who earlier said he wasn't interested in watching a 58-year-old fight a kid of 27, praised the promotion and marketing of the fight. Then he dropped a bombshell, which we don't know if it was deliberate or a slip. He said he hated what he saw and knew he was going to hate it.